Unfortunately, Hindu phobia is very real. I've experienced it directly in each of my campaigns for Congress and this presidential race. Former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard had tweeted last year. Her sentiments are now getting reinforced as the US witnessed a new case of Hindu phobia in an Ivy League college, Dartmouth. 3 professors and a student of the Ivy League college were targeted with vague allegations in a new form of jihad, false complaints. And what was the crime of the Hindu professors? Well, being Hindu was their only crime. Hi and welcome. This is TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Tribhuvan, and in this video, I will tell you about a new kind of jihad against Hindu professor at Dartmouth University. Let's begin. Before you start watching this video, you must have seen me wear these amazing t-shirts with Sanskrit quotes and Indian heroes. And the great news is that you can get them too. Just visit tfistore.com and pick your favorite from a bunch of options. Earlier this year, Dartmouth witnessed a case of sheer Hindu phobia. 3 Hindu professors, Deepanab Chakrabarti, Amit Chakrabarti and Prasad Jayanti at the Ivy League College faced allegations of retaliation and discrimination on the basis of religion at the hand of Maha Hassan Al-Shawi, a former computer science PhD student at Dartmouth College from September 2019 to November 2020. As per an external investigation report of the entire controversy, Al-Shawi alleged Professor Quattrini Lee, her supervisor, researcher, advisor, touched his private area twice in her presence and entered complainant's office without permission. She reported the matter to Duty Title IX Coordinator Gary Sund. However, the external investigation report stated respondent Sund assessed the report and found that, taken as true, the report did not fall under the Title IX policy because, as described, the conduct was not conduct of a sexual nature. After Sund dismissed the grievance against Professor Lee, Al-Shawi filed certain grievances against respondent Jayanti, Professor Deepanab Chakrabarti and a Hindu student identified as Student 3 in the external investigation report. The grievances were submitted to Antonio Ferrantino, former Director, Institutional Diversity and Equity. Later, Al-Shawi further filed a complaint against Ferrantino on the allegation that he did not address her report of retaliation. The external investigation report revealed respondent Ferrantino stated that complainant never made a report about him. Respondent Ferrantino noted on the online submission form that complaint filled out on June 16, 2020, she identified Professor Alberto Quattrini Lee, respondent Jayanti and respondent Amit Chakrabarti as the individuals who discriminated against her. Ferrantino noted that there were no specifics in the complaint against Deepanab Chakrabarti, and Al-Shawi said that she believes she was abused and harassed because she was Muslim and he was Hindu. Ferrantino said the complaints against other respondents too seem to be obscure and reek of Hindu phobia. In a June 30, 2020 email, Al-Shawi wrote, "As I said before, Jayanti, Amit, Professor Deepanab and Student 3 all belong to the same religion and they are all friends and colleagues." Ferrantino said, "I asked for specifics and she declined to give me them. She said she believed that Hindus like seeing Muslims being tortured, but there were no specifics. It was just her belief." The contents of the complaint reveal how the allegations were against the Hindu professors just because they were Hindus. To say that the respondents belong to the same religion suggests sheer prejudice against the Hindu professors based on their religion. What particularly reeks of Hindu phobia in the sweeping remark that Hindus like seeing Muslims being tortured, such hateful sentiments are what seem to have prompted the frivolous complaints against Hindu professors. The complainant also alleged that Jayanti belonged to the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh and wrongly claimed that RSS is an anti-Muslim organization. Frankly, the allegations are not quite surprising. With the kind of hateful commentary that is run against Hindu nationalism in the left-liberal US media and the constant portrayal of Hindus as fascists with actions like banning the Hindu Swastika, fear and prejudice about Hindu community is being created in the American society. Also, the so-called progressive lawmakers like Ilham Omar have normalized the negative portrayal of Hindus. Those who read and believe in such hostile commentary naturally end up blaming Hindus just because of their religion. In the external investigation report, complaints against Professor Jayanti and Professor Chakrabarti were investigated. The complaint alleged that Jayanti withheld solutions to problem sets from complainant and gave her a low pass grade for her TA mark, and that such action was an adverse effect was an adverse act in retaliation for complainant filing a Title IX complaint against Professor Quattrini Lee. She also alleged that respondent Jayanti interfered with her ability to advance to the Advanced Algorithm class CS-231. Allegations against Chakrabarti were made under two different heads: retaliation and discrimination on the basis of religion. Concerning Professor Chakrabarti, allegations of agreeing but failing to serve as a PhD supervisor, forcing the complainant to identify a supervisor research advisor when other AIR PhD students did not have to do so, and informing her that her fellow would be affected by her low pass TA mark were made. She claimed that such actions were in retaliation for filing a complaint against Professor Quattrini Lee. Yet, in the final investigation report, none of the allegations made by Professor Quattrini Lee was upheld. The report stated, "We find that there is insufficient information to support a finding by a preponderance of the evidence that any of the named respondents engaged in retaliation. We also find that there is insufficient information to support a finding by a preponderance of the evidence that respondent Jayanti engaged in discrimination on the basis of religion." Dartmouth thus witnessed a new form of jihad waged against Hindu professors. Yet the problem is deeper. The woke and Islamo-leftist lobbies in the United States of America are often found indulging in blatant Hinduphobia, which goes as far as trying to portray abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir as a Hindu nationalist move, or organizing a dismantling global Hindutva conference for no good reason. The fear-mongering against Hindus is becoming an all-pervasive issue in the West, and this is leading to a rise in hateful and vengeful attitude against the Hindu community.